That just means we're gonna have to work a little extra hard today. Let's put my timer on there. Perfect. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, team. We'll get moving. So just remember, you need a quick look around you, make sure you have some clear space, nothing to step on or trip over. You're in bare feet or nice sturdy shoes. Remember, if you're standing on carpet or a rug, make sure it's not slippery. And if it's really thick, be aware that that's going to impact your balance because it's not as firm of flooring. You will need your band today. Remember, have a quick check-in to see how you are feeling energy-wise and breathing-wise. You should feel energized by the end of the workout, not like you need a nap right away. So kind of gauge that throughout class. All right. And remember, anytime you feel like your heart rate's getting a bit too high, or you start feeling a bit shaky or dizzy, or you feel like you're out of breath, pause and just focus on your recovery breathing. Now let's all go into our recovery breathing to start because it's a good way to get our lungs warmed up. So just place a hand on your belly and we're gonna breathe in nice and slow, trying to fill up your belly, and then breathe out through pursed lips. And again, try to keep that steady breath. So again, breathe in and out. It can also be helpful to open up your hands as you breathe in. That helps open up your chest. And when you're ready, again, pursed lip breath as you bring those hands back in. We're gonna do 2 more. Breathe in, and you can pull your hands apart or keep your hands on your belly. And breathe out steady when you're ready. And 1 more at your own pace. Breathe in and out. Excellent job. All right, team, take your hands and we're just going to make figure 8s with both hands. So we're looping down and over. There we go. All right, I need the drum section to start up, and then the tuba section is going to start in 2 seconds. There we go. Because that's what I always feel like when I warm up like this. Like I'm the best orchestrator ever. What is it called? A maestro?
Yes.
Ah, good. Now try switching directions of that figure 8. Oh, that's where it gets tricky. But you know by now we get your body working and your brain working. What fun. There we go.
Not doing very good there.
There. You know what that reminds me of is rest your hands and cross your arms. Now uncross and cross them the other way.
Okay, right.
Do that just a couple times. So cross your normal way, your default way.
Yeah.
And now the other way. So,
Okay.
and by other way, I mean, when you go to cross, just take stock of, okay, which arm's on top, and now switch them. That's a surprising bit of a brain game. Hey, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really have to watch. You have to really sort of focus on what you're doing.
Yeah. Have you ever thought to look at how you cross your arms before?
No.
No. That's something just odd. Only an odd person could think of that.
We're looking at her.
I was trying to explain to my brother-in-law years ago when I broke my leg, or my upper femur. And it was my right leg, but it was also my dominant leg. And so standing on my left leg was very weird. And he's like, I don't know, ambi everything. And he's like he plays basketball and stuff. So both sides are well developed. And I'm just like, I can't do things with my left foot.
Yeah.
Find myself.
It's hard. It's hard. We're going to get 1 foot stepping forward at a time, guys. Just touch your heel in front of you. Yeah, that's like with coaching. You know, I always have at least one player in a season because I work with multiple teams that breaks a wrist.
Oh.
And when it's their writing hand, they complain to me. Coach, it's so hard to get schoolwork done. And my teacher's mad that they can't read my handwriting. Has anyone ever tried to write their name backwards?
No.
No. Yeah.
Like
Okay,
Michelangelo.
that's your
Why would you want
homework.
to do that?
That's your homework for Thursday.
I can write everything backwards. It's easy.
That's
For some
amazing.
reason. For some reason.
That's a talent.
Yeah, I know.
Likes it?
But it's not worth
Awesome.
anything. It's not worth anything.
Michelangelo could do that too.
Michelangelo.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, there
See,
we go.
you're like Michelangelo.
There you go, Maureen.
Yeah, I wish.
That's how my logic works. You can write things backwards, no problem. Michelangelo could write things backwards, no problem. You are Michelangelo. And step your foot out to the side. And I just realized you can only see my knees. So let's bring that camera down slightly. There we go. And I'll move back a little ways. Oh, that's better. Now you can actually see what my feet are doing.
You're speed skating.
Speed skating, that's right. So as our leg moves out to the side, opposite arm pushes forward and then back. Leg steps out to the side, opposite hand pushes forward and back. Step and push, step and push. There we go, team. Now remember, as we work and we start getting our heart rates up and we end up working harder and harder throughout class, it's still important to keep track of that breathing pattern. So as best you can, we're trying to keep our breathing, our breaths a little more deep and steady. So as you work harder and harder, our body wants to take those shallow, rapid breaths, right? Like you're panting. But try your best to keep breathing and steady. Right? Either breathing in through your nose or mouth, but breathing out through pursed lips. There we go. All right. Now, rest there. Take your one hand. You can all start with your right hand. And I want you to make a circle with your right hand. Like you're winding up the window in a pre-electric car window.
That would be this way.
That's true. I think we're closing it. I'll be honest, I always just used to do both ways until it did what I wanted it to. That's how I unscrew things too. And sometimes I just end up making it tighter. There, so now as this arm is circling, our other arm is going to reach up and down without this arm stopping at circle. So up
and there is
down.
a secret, Jill. There is a secret. To the left means on and to the right means off.
That makes sense.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Well, I know, and I say that to myself the whole time, and then I have to hold up my hands and make L's, and I go, right, that's left. So I turn it that way. You thought just my counting was bad. My sense of direction is not much better.
Don't follow you.
Oh, geez, no. And switch it, which arm is doing what? Circle with one, reach up with the other.
Oh, that's harder.
Yeah, one side is always a bit harder.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
There we go. Woohoo!
Oh.
Because we've been going the other way for a while. Now this way's hard.
Oh yeah, once you've established that pattern, then switching, that makes it harder. Yeah. We got into a rhythm.
The brain just says no.
I can't do it. Can't do it smoothly, that's for sure.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because your one hand wants to follow what the other hand is doing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Okay, rest those hands.
Okay.
All right, so now what I want is your leg is going, one leg's going up and the other leg is kicking, and then you reverse. So right leg lifts down, left leg kicks back. Now left leg lifts down, right leg kicks back. So whatever leg just kicked is now going to lift. So it's a kick, lift, switch, kick, lift, switch, kick, lift, switch, kick, lift, switch. There you go. You know what's interesting about that motor pattern, we call it motor, just meaning having to do with your muscles and movement. So when we talk about one, your limb wants to follow your other limb, that's what we do as part of some people's stroke recovery, is if one side isn't moving as well, which is really normal with that and takes just some rehab to get back at it, we'll get their strong side, like take their arm, we'll get their strong side moving in a pattern. And when you're working with the nervous system, you need high repetition. So we might do 40, 50, and then without stopping, we get them to switch. And often it automatically mirrors what was just happening.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's using that to our advantage. The body is so cool, guys. You guys are capable of so many amazing things. Keep up your breathing pattern. There we go. Now we've got just a couple more patterns with our legs. We'll just do a couple more. But now, while you're going, I want you to see if you can get your arms pumping. There we go. Some of you are going, there we go, what?
I think you're on steroids today.
What too?
Can't do that.
Either that or funny drugs.
You know, Tuesdays are bad days because I had the whole weekend to think about you guys.
That's what we were noticing.
Yay! And rest.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
That was a disaster for me.
My problem is that because of being a transplant patient, I am on funny drugs and steroids, and it doesn't help at all.
Oh, that's not working.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, Karen, we're with you. You've kept your wit about you, though. That's the best part.
That's all I got.
Right.
Lucky you.
It's a good one.
All right, gang, our goal for the next couple of minutes is to keep our heart rate up. So the goal is to start challenging your breathing. Now, what I want you to think of is if we were to use a 10-point scale, 0 out of 10 is you're just kind of laying in bed right before you go to sleep. So super relaxed, the easiest your breathing has ever felt. 10 out of 10 is you can't really catch your breath at all, right? And you can't breathe, that's not good. I want you aiming for about a 4 or 5 out of 10. So that means that you're breathing a little bit harder than you do at rest. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but you can maintain your breathing.
Right.
Good. So Let's start with stepping our feet out, out, in, out, out, in. So if you feel comfortable, you can stand up as long as you feel sturdy and balanced. Standing is a good way to increase the challenge for your lungs. Remember just to have balance support close by. All right, and again, the goal is to challenge your breathing a little bit. We have to get that slightest little bit uncomfortable with breathing a bit heavily in order to get our lungs to get stronger. That fine balance. Challenging, yet doable. That's our motto. I think I'm gonna get t-shirts made.
For all of us?
For all of you, I think.
You need a trucker to bring them.
Uh-oh.
Truckers are all back east.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in Ottawa.
I was gonna say, there's none available. All right, we're gonna switch it up pretty quick here. So we're gonna alternate between focusing with our legs and then focusing with our arms. And that's just to give muscles a break. So sometimes that can be the challenging thing is your muscles get tired before your lungs do. And sometimes it's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But the goal is, again, we're trying to challenge our breathing. So rest your feet and pump your arms. So sit up tall, tighten up those bellies and pump your arms. Now remember, another way to increase the challenge of an exercise is with how much intent and focus are you doing that exercise. So if we're just letting our minds wander, we're going do, 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 we're not going to be super challenged. But if you're really focused and you think about tightening that belly, pumping those arms, doesn't matter if your arms move faster or slower, but it does become more challenging because we're really focused on those arms working, on our breathing increasing, but we're still able to maintain our breathing pattern.
Jill, I focus on keeping my mouth shut.
And that's a big distraction for you, Terry. And rest those arms. Now, if you're sitting, pull your heel back as if you're trying to touch the underside of your chair and start with your feet a little bit in front of you. And if you're standing, we're just pulling up those heels towards your bum. There we go. And again, feel free if you're standing, hold on to some balance support. We're not working on our balance yet. Good, and everyone needs to tighten up their bellies, those core muscles. Like someone's about to slap you on the belly. Let it tighten up and brace. There we go, team. Good, and again, do the exercise with intent. Pull those heels, pull those heels. Keep up your breathing. There we go. And rest your legs. So now we're lifting up our arms. If you lift up just one at a time, that's easier for your breathing. Otherwise, you're pushing up with both and down. And again, pretend you have a heavy box that you're pushing up to the top shelf. And by imagining you're pushing a heavy box, it really does help you do more work. Keep up your breathing. Can everyone feel that? The more you focus, the harder it actually is to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can build strength and connection in your body only using your body weight. There we go. Excellent job, team. and rest those arms and march. So again, if your arms need a rest, you can just cross your arms over your body or put them on your hips and just lift one knee at a time. If your arms are feeling good and you want that extra challenge to your lungs, get your arms swinging with your legs. Now remember, at any point you need to stop and do some recovery breaths until you get your breath back under control. Please do that. And I think on Thursday, last week, we talked about intensity versus duration. Do you remember that? If we did talk about that, we talked about how it's better to focus on trying to keep moving for a longer period of time without rest versus working to work harder, right? That duration is important to focus on first. Intensity comes later. There we go, team. And rest those legs. We've got one last one before we start using that resistance band. Take your hands and you're rolling them one over the other. So circle them around each other.
Speed bag.
Speed bag. I'll be honest, I always think of, I've watched a couple videos about how they make candy.
Oh, yeah.
And
Or
it almost looks, yeah, or pizza, but candy almost looks like dough.
Yeah.
And they just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. And they stretch it into different shapes and then roll it again. Very neat.
Toffee's made that way.
Toffee is, hey? Neat. I think that's so cool.
It reminds me of Sunday school.
Oh, does it?
We did
and rest.
Running over, running over.
Oh, cool.
My cup is full and running over.
I wonder how they invented that stuff. Making toffee and candy and pizza dough.
I wasn't a dentist, I can tell you that.
Why? That keeps them in their job.
True.
I think a dentist that hands out candy is the smartest financially savvy dentist there is. It's called job security.
Make work projects.
That's right. Okay, gang. Now you're going to use your resistance band. Again, this is a really great time to grab a sip of water and a really good evaluation. Okay, if I'm starting to feel really out of breath or a bit shaky, or if I looked at my heart rate and it looks like it's going up a bit too high or my oxygen's dropped, stop. Go through your recovery breaths until you recover. Recover so that you can come back and actually put effort in. All right. Now, if you are ready, you're going to take your band. You're going to wrap it around if it's really long, or just hold a little bit tighter in. Now, we're going to hold the band out in front of you. Now, if you're full of energy, feel free to keep your feet moving while we do this, standing or sitting. We're going to pull one arm out to the side and slowly bring it back in. Then your other hand pulls out to the side. My other arm stays still. Bring it back in. So one arm pulls, one arm stays still, and bring it back in. Now, if you've got any pain in your neck or shoulders, feel free to hold your arms out in front of you and pull one straight back and then forwards. Pull one hand back and forwards. And that's going to feel better on a sore shoulder. Otherwise, pull out and back. So you can try both out, see what feels best for you. Good. Remember, one arm pulls and the other stays still.
Ah.
And if you want to coordinate your arm and legs, just lift up one as an arm pulls, bring it back and down, and then switch. One leg lifts, arm pulls, back, and switch. You want to be feeling this in your upper back or in the backs of your shoulders. There we go, team. And rest. Well done. Now, put your band a little bit to the side. We will need it again. Now, you've got two options. If you are not comfortable standing up from your chair, all you're going to do is plant your feet on the ground. You're going to lean forward and push your feet into the ground as if you're going to stand up out of that chair. You should feel your leg muscles tense up, and then you're going to relax. So again, it's that lean forward, push your feet into the ground, and then relax. Otherwise, tighten that belly, tighten those glutes, those bum muscles, and stand up nice and slow. And sit down nice and slow. Stand up nice and slow, clenching everything tight, and then down. Remember, if you got cranky knees, push that bum back. So get your bum to reach back to the chair. And up nice and slow, tense everything up. And down nice and slow. And up. And down. It's helpful to breathe out as you stand up. Well done, everybody. Remember, intention of an exercise matters. So the more you focus on tightening everything up, pretend you're holding a heavy bag as you stand with effort. If you can, your goal is to do 3 more. Remember to listen to your body. Even if you do a couple sit to stands, and then you can just push your feet into the ground. You don't have to, it's not an all or nothing. These classes are do what you can, challenging yet doable. There we go.
Okay.
And rest. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Nice work. All right, take your band. You're gonna put it around your back, and it's gonna come forward just underneath your armpit. And then you're gonna hold on to the band from there. There we go. All right. Okay, gang, right from here, you're going to push one hand forward and slowly bring it back. So push one hand forward, bring it slowly back. If you feel like you need an extra challenge, push both hands forward at the same time and back. Now, the second challenge to this, if you want to make it even more challenging, is again, lifting up one knee as you push your hands out and then bring them back in. Push your arms out, bring them back in. Push your arms out as you lift your knee if you want that extra challenge, and back in. So again, remember everybody, tighten up that belly. Those core muscles need to be working hard. There we go. Have I been making do on my promise to get you working harder to make up for the late start?
You are.
That's a brave response. Honesty. I like it. So remember, just one hand at a time. If your breathing or energy is a struggle today, you can do both arms to increase the challenge. And you can do both arms and lift one knee to further increase the challenge. Again, it's all about intent. And rest. Nice work, gang. Once again, you can rest there, put your band to the side. And we're going to focus on our legs again. So if you are going to stay seated, then I just want you to sit at the edge of your seat as best you can. You're going to cross your arms over your chest and you're going to lean forward from your hips. So if you want, take one hand and put it on your lower back so you can feel if that back rounds. I want you leaning forward from the hips. So you almost have to tilt your tailbone up. And it might feel a little bit tight at the front of your hips and at the backs of your legs. And again, all about intention. I want you to tighten up your glutes. So that's clenching your bum to slowly pull yourself back up and then lean forward again. Then once more, clenching your glutes to slowly pull yourself back up. Now, to make this more challenging, you can stand. And then it's the same thing. The hips go back behind you. Just lean as far down as you can. Again, keeping that back nice and flat, not rounded. And then clenching glutes to slowly pull you back up. And then once again, push your bum back behind you. You should feel a bit of a stretch down the back of your legs. And squeeze your glutes to slowly pull yourself back up. Now you should feel this in the back of your legs, gang. And you shouldn't feel any pain in your lower back. You should tell me right away if you do. And sometimes if you feel pain or soreness in that movement, sometimes that's just your body not being used to the movement. And so don't worry if you only go a little ways. That's okay. You can work into the mobility of this movement. So even if you just bend over just that slight little bit, but you know you have good form and your back feels good, that's where you go. And then as you get better over the next couple of weeks, you get further and further down. Now, are those glutes getting tired, gang?
Yep.
Oh, good. And rest there. Make sure you grab a sip of water. And then we just did 4 exercises that focused on that slow strength. We're going to repeat them. So I hope you're ready for that. I'm seeing some nervous looks.
I guess we have to be.
It is what it is. You know, just do the best that you can, and that's awesome. So that first exercise we did was holding the band out in front of us. Oh, let's get myself situated here. There we go. And it's pulling one arm to the side, back, and then the other, remembering If pulling that arm straight out is sore on the shoulder or neck, then just pull your elbow back instead. And you might need to hold that band a little bit closer together. Okay, so it's pulling out to the side, back in nice and slow. And once again, you can either just keep your feet moving or lift up a knee as an arm pulls to the side, back, and then you can switch. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as you pull the band. Well done, gang. Good, we're gonna do 2 more if you can. And rest. Well done, team. Now, once again, take stock. It's okay if you have to breathe a little bit harder, if you're that little bit out of breath after that exercise. But if you feel like you can't catch your breath, if you feel breathless, that's where you need to just pause and do your recovery breathing until you've caught your breath back, okay? Or you can just reach out and grab it. All right, so if you're feeling ready, second exercise, once again, if you're staying seated, is leaning forward. Push your feet into the ground. You should feel your leg muscles tighten up and then relax back. If you're comfortable standing all the way up, again, tighten everything and slowly push yourself up to a standing position and then slowly lower yourself back down. Remember reaching your bum to the chair if you've got cranky knees. There we go. Nice and slow. And remember, you are in charge of your body during exercise class. Take quick note. If you're feeling good, some things to look out for that you need a little just brief rest and recovery breaths is if you start feeling a little lightheaded. If you start feeling like you're gasping for air and can't catch your breath, if you feel shaky, those are signs you need to rest and do your recovery breathing. Remember, our motto is challenging yet doable. And it's not doable if you are utterly exhausted. So listen to your bodies, gang. There we go. And remember, if you do just a couple and then you need to sit but want to keep working, so you just revert to the seated option where you push your feet into the ground and then relax, that's awesome. That means you're doing the best that you can, whatever your capacity is today. And rest. Now, I'll be honest, I lost count there.
I went to 10 and that was enough.
Good. That's a great number. Well done. All right, and again, listen to your bodies. If you need to rest and recovery breathe until you're ready to keep going, that's what you do. And if you're feeling good, you're going to take that band, get it around your back, bring it forward underneath your armpits, and hold onto the handle.
If you got one.
Have a handle.
That's right. I'm sorry. I was staring at mine and I was trying to figure it out. The last set, I had the one side of the band going over top of my hand, but the other was coming underneath, and I was... Sometimes I need brain exercises too, okay?
You're sure exercising our brain.
That's right. And it's backfiring on me. What the heck? All right. You're either pushing an arm out in front of you and slowly bringing it back and alternating. You can add in lifting a knee to increase the challenge. You can push both hands in front of you to increase the challenge. You can push in front of you and lift up a knee. So remember, the more limbs that are moving, the more of a challenge it is for your lungs. How's everybody's muscles feeling? Are they starting to get a little bit tired or feel like they're working?
Yep. Oh, yes.
Good. And your lungs have to work hard too, in a different way compared to that more cardio exercise that we started off with. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as you push your hands out. And rest. Well done, team. So once again, put your band to the side. You're either seated or standing, and it's all about bending from the hips. So once again, and you can start whenever you're ready. Once again, if you're seated, just lean forward at the hips and then tighten your glutes as much as you can to slowly bring yourself back up. And then you repeat. Tighten those glutes together to slowly pull yourself back up. Remembering we're keeping that back nice and flat, and you can have your hand there to help feel it.
Oh
no, what?
I was doing the wrong one.
Were you standing up and sitting down?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Nice. You wanted lots of those today. So remember, the standing is just standing and push your hips behind you. Again, keeping that back nice and flat, and then tighten up those glutes to slowly pull you up. And then repeat. Hips go back behind you. You should feel a stretch down the back of your legs. Tighten your glutes to pull yourself back up. Squeeze those glutes tight, tight, tight. There we go. Good. It is helpful to breathe out as you come back up. And once more. Awesome job, gang. You can sit down. All right, now we're just going to take a couple deep breaths together, and then we're going to stretch. So you can start with your hands on your belly, trying to breathe in through the nose, but it's okay to breathe in through the mouth. That's no problem. So breathe in as you pull apart your hands, and then when you're ready, breathing out through pursed lips to bring those hands back in. Let's aim for 3 to 4 seconds as we inhale, and aiming for 4 to 6 seconds as you exhale. So I'll count to 4. It's breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause if you can, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and shake it out. Maintain that breathing pattern. We can lift up one elbow, gently push it up, or wrap it at the top of your head. While one hand is up there, you might as well give yourself a pat on the back. And switch arms. Once more, give yourself a pat on the back. And relax your arms there. You can give them a little shake out. All right, stick one leg straight out in front of you. And again, we're hinging from the hips, trying to reach towards our toes. Keep up that steady breathing. Great job, team. All right, we're going to slowly come up. Now you're either crossing over at the ankles and pulling that knee across, or at the knees, or at the top of the leg and pulling that leg in and lean forward slightly. So we're aiming to feel that the side of your hip. Again, you can cross over at the feet, pull that knee in and lean forward, or it can cross up higher. And relax that leg. Other leg is straight out in front. Reach towards your toes. Remember to keep up that steady breathing. And slowly come up, take that same leg and either cross it at the ankles or you can pull it up higher. Pull that knee in and lean forward. Excellent job, gang. Now we're gonna have one last stretch before we're done class. Holy smokes. And I just wanna quickly bring to your attention a little discussion about water. And how much, and I want you to think, okay, how much water do I typically drink in a day? And you don't have to say it out loud. So be honest with yourself. And you can measure it either in cups. How many, glasses or cups of water do you drink in a day? Put that leg down. You can either pull it back underneath you or you can turn sideways in your seat, whatever feels best for you, or how many water bottles you drink. And they kind of always tell you to aim for 2 liters or 8 cups of water a day.
It's my daily intake.
Yeah.
I have a jug of water sitting on my counter every day, and I gotta drink that before I go to bed.
Woo!
And it's 8 cups.
Good.
8 or 9 cups, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Switch legs.
Do you feel a difference? Do you feel a difference now having done it? After you drink the 8 cups regularly?
Pardon?
Do you feel any different?
No, I don't, but I know that I've had my water of the day.
Well, did you ever go through a time where you chronically did not drink enough water?
Oh, yeah.
Or have you always been a pretty good water drinker?
Well, I've been a pretty good water drinker, but a lot of times, no, I didn't have enough. But I have a slight kidney problem, and I have to drink water.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And this is where it all, I have my jug.
Good. Good.
I'm on a fluid reduction, so I have a limit to what I can do in a day.
Yeah, absolutely. So some people are on a limit for sure. And so that's definitely, that's more of a rare case, and that's something that's really important, and that you stick to that. But for a lot of you who haven't been told to limit, and again, those are very accentuating circumstances.
Yeah.
Having enough water helps your mental clarity. So it helps your brain function. It actually helps your blood move more smoothly through your system, which helps transfer oxygen a little bit easier because it's not as thick. It helps lubricate your joints, so it can help with a little bit of joint achiness, and it helps your muscles move and function well.
Yeah, I drink half my body weight.
Oh, wow.
Close to
You can actually be dehydrated without being thirsty.
Yes, you can. And that's because that's what your body is used to. Your body's very good at picking out a normal. Has everyone heard the term homeostasis?
Yeah.
That's where things stay the same. And you can think of it like a thermometer, a heat gauge in your house. If you've set your temperature to, what's average, 20 degrees
72,
Celsius, depending, every time your house gets colder, the heat kicks back on to bring it back to that point. That's homeostasis. In your body, things work the same way. Your body is used to being a certain way, and it sticks to it. Now you can make small changes and readjust that set point, but if your body's used to not functioning on much water, it's not going to complain forever, because that wastes energy. It's just going to get on with it and adjust things, and you don't always notice. And then this is funny, if you're used to not drinking enough water and start drinking more, and some people say, well, I don't want to drink more water, I'll have to pee like mad.
Exactly.
But that only happens for a couple days.
Yeah.
Because then your body acts like a sponge, and it actually starts adjusting. Because first, it's not going to use up water if you're only going to do it for a day or two. Your body's smart.
Yeah.
It's going to go, nope, we're not used to this much water. We're going to get rid of it. But if you consistently drink more water, after a couple of days, or even, it's usually just a couple of days, your body starts going, oh, this is nice. Okay, I'll adjust this. We'll start keeping this water because it's good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your urine's dark, you're better drink some water.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's right.
So drinking other things than water doesn't count really, right?
Alcohol dehydrates you.
Fluid is fluid to a degree. It depends what you're drinking.
Yep, yeah. Fluid is fluid to a degree. Yeah, there's still other considerations. So again, if you're, that coffee or caffeinated tea, yes, you're getting in fluid, but the caffeine is a diuretic. So it is gonna encourage your body to flush it out. And some people, if some people that are pretty sensitive to caffeine's a stimulant, and that can actually make your bladder more active. So not only is it kind of keeping the water out of your system, it's making you have to go more frequently because it's a stimulant. Things like juice, well, now you're looking at sugar, and really quickly absorbable sugar, because there's no fiber to balance it out or any other things. So it's true, to an extent, fluid is fluid. But getting enough water is still important, and the easiest thing to track rather than the guesswork.
And Jill, when you're on the pitch, you're after electrolytes also too, not just water, right?
That's the big thing. Electrolytes are important.
Yep, that's right. So that the best way if you're not sweating lots on a regular basis, the best way is make sure you're just getting a well-rounded diet, lots of fruits and veggies, and protein, and that's gonna get you those electrolytes naturally. But if you find like on hot days when you're sweating more, some people find it really helpful to have some supplemental electrolytes, or a little bit of Himalayan sea salt in their water.
Coconut water.
Coconut water
is really good.
Yeah.
Gatorade bad, coconut water good.
If you're quite dehydrated, Gatorade can be good. That little bit of sugar does help your body reabsorb water. But even my young athletes, during a tournament, I only let them have half a Gatorade a day.
Yeah.
As more than that, your body's not really using, and the sugar's not worth it. So, I mean, if you have, like a quarter of a Gatorade on a hot summer day, or on a day where you've been sweating lots, that can be helpful, but a lot of people overuse it.
Yeah.
I know people that try to have 1 or 2 Gatorades every day, and I'm going, oh, geez, that's like drinking pop at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar.
There is a Gatorade